We are officially in the third trimester. Hi everyone, welcome to week 28 of my pregnancy. We are officially in the third trimester. So this will be my third trimester part 1 video, and obviously part 2 will be after this. I'm not sure how long the part 2 is gonna last because it'll obviously end when the baby comes, which is exciting and scary at the same time. So the pregnancy technically ends in week 40, so we have a little bit of ways to go, but yeah, I've officially made it to the last third of the pregnancy now. Some updates are that I'm gonna start counting my kicks. So they say at week 28 you should start counting your kicks each day. So I set an alarm for 9 p.m. and I'm just gonna try to count until I get how long it takes me to get to 10 kicks, because that's the most important. You should feel 10 kicks at least within 2 hours. Most people feel it way before then, and if not, then it could be something that you want to bring up with your doctor. So I did it last night and it was like within 10 minutes I already felt the 10 kicks. I think it's because I was laying on my left side and I just drank some cold water, so that helps to stimulate the baby. The kicks are so regular now that I kind of ignore them. They're just like a part of the everyday life. I will say the other thing is that my bump, because it's getting a little bigger, I know I mentioned that I feel uncomfortable after I eat, but now it's kind of just uncomfortable in general. Even if I'm like standing or bending down a lot or picking up things, my back kind of starts hurting. And I would say it's like sometimes my stomach, it tightens up. I don't think they're Braxton Hicks, but it just feels very tight and uncomfortable, and the skin feels like it's being stretched. So if you can imagine that feeling, it just does not feel comfortable and it feels like you're about to explode almost. And so that's a little more uncomfortable, I would say. Before I didn't really feel that issue. So now that the bump's getting bigger, that's definitely a problem that I've been having. Or just something I've noticed. And now that I'm trying to sleep more with a pillow between my legs to help my pelvic pain, I feel like I haven't gotten like a full night's sleep where I just sleep fully, because I always wake up and toss and turn. And so that's another thing that I've noticed. But other than that, still no complications, still no issues. This Friday I have a doctor's appointment and I will be getting my Tdap vaccine. So I hear it does hurt. So I'll show you guys, I'll check in with you guys at that appointment. And I also have my 30-week ultrasound coming up. So a lot of things happening. The baby stuff is getting real. I'm really starting to prep for it. And lastly, I'm starting to plan my baby shower. So my friend Jen graciously said she would love to plan it for me, even though it's virtual. We're doing it over Zoom like we did the gender reveal, but it'll be a little more fun with at least like 20 some people hopefully will be coming. And now that I can have it online, it's nice that I can invite my friends from New York as well. So hopefully we'll play a few games and have some fun. It is a little difficult because you can't really get favors and mail them out, because it would be way too much work. A lot of places don't mail to different addresses if everyone doesn't live in the area. So we'll see how it all turns out. Maybe I'll make a separate video about that. But yeah, so let me show you my bump. Definitely growing. Here's the bump. Doesn't feel as tight right now, but it's getting there. So I'll see you guys in week 29. I'm here for my appointment for my third trimester, and I'm going to get my Tdap vaccine today. So I'm gonna get a shot. I have to pee in a cup, so I drink a lot of water and I really have to pee. And yeah, I'm just gonna ask a few questions about this sore spot I've been having on my stomach. It's kind of like a bruise, like an internal bruise feeling, so I'm just gonna ask about that. Show her my pelvic belt to make sure that it's all okay to use and continue using. And yeah, we'll just see any other updates, but it'll probably be pretty quick. And yeah, so let's go in. Okay, 28, 29. Hello, so I'm back from my appointment. I'm showered and everything. I didn't have time to film after my appointment because I was running late for a meeting at work. For some reason, I had to wait a long time in the appointment waiting room and they apologized for being late. But usually I'm seen like early, if not like 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after my actual appointment time. So anyway, I got the Tdap vaccine. The actual shot did not hurt at all. I would say I have a pretty good tolerance for needles, I think, so it felt like a tiny little prick, and if anything, I feel like when they draw my blood, it actually hurts more. But then I think about an hour after I got my shot, it definitely started feeling sore. So like when I lift my arm like this, it does kind of hurt because I got it on my right arm, and the reason I got it on my right arm is because I asked the nurse, where should I get it done? And she said it depends, because it gets sore, you might not want to do it on the side that you sleep on. And obviously for pregnancy, you're supposed to sleep on your left side, and I always start out on my left side, so I decided to get on my right arm, which I guess could be annoying because you might use your right arm a lot if you are right-handed. But if I just do normal movements like this, it's fine. But it's if I raise my arm like above my chest, I guess, then it kind of hurts. But it's just like a sore muscle, achy kind of feeling. So it's not that bad. It definitely was way better than I thought it was gonna be. A bunch of people online scared me that it was gonna hurt a lot and then I was gonna feel like super drowsy and whatever, but I feel fine. So hopefully that will give you guys some comfort if you're getting your Tdap vaccine. Hi everyone, welcome to week 29 of my pregnancy, the second week of my third trimester. This week we had my appointment yesterday, and as you guys saw, I had my Tdap vaccine, and my arm is still a little sore, but definitely on the mend, so it probably will only be sore for 1 to 2 days maximum. Definitely was not as bad as everyone said it was going to be. I got to hear the baby's heartbeat, and they checked my fundal height. The bump is definitely getting bigger and more uncomfortable. I basically have this sore spot on my stomach, and my doctor said it's from the uterus growing and things, and it just kind of becomes like more uncomfortable as the day wears on, and so that's a little annoying sometimes, like when I'm getting up or getting back into bed, if I laugh, cough, sneeze, basically anything that jolts that area. But yeah, I'm still trying to prepare for baby. Hui and I are actually most likely moving, so I've kind of been waiting until all of that is settled before setting up the baby's room. I also sort of alluded to it, but for the first month after the baby's born, Hui and I are actually going to stay with my parents. They live fairly close by, but not close enough where they can just drive whenever they want, and they have you know, extra bedrooms, so we're gonna actually stay with them for a month just as things get settled, as I'm gonna need a lot of extra help because I'm gonna be recovering, and then there's gonna be a newborn, and we might have to go back to work after the first week. Maybe not physically if COVID's still happening, but he'll probably be busy, and so I just want to be there with my parents to help me cook and take care of me. That's why I was setting up baby stuff in their place, just so that the baby has a space. We're basically gonna leave right from the hospital after the baby's born and go straight there. So that's another wrinkle in the plan where I'm gonna have to prepare for that, pack extra for a month, and make sure the baby's items are set up there rather than our current apartment or our new apartment, because the baby won't be staying in our apartment until after the first month. So let me show you my bump. Here's the front and the side. Yep. So today Hui and I actually have our very first baby care class. There's I think 3 of them that I signed up for. There's like childbirth, baby care, and like infant safety, and so today's the baby care class. It's all on Zoom online through my hospital because we can't meet in person. Usually these classes are in person, but they've been doing them online, and this is the first one I'm gonna attend. It says it's gonna be 3 hours, which I'm like a little doubtful about how they're gonna be able to fill 3 hours, but I have a feeling I know most of this stuff because I've watched so many videos and so many vlogs. But I think it'd be a nice way to just get all the information from an actual provider and have Hui listen as well. So we're gonna go head over to that now.
I am a child passenger safety technician instructor, which basically means I know about car seats. That fun, you know, that kind of stuff. Okay. So appearance.
So I just got done with my 30-week ultrasound appointment. Everything went well. It was pretty quick. She just checked some things similar to my 20-week appointment. She took some screenshots for me and printed a few pictures. If you remember, I had low Papp A volume, and that's why I'm scheduled for 2 extra ultrasounds. I think normally you actually don't get this many, so could be a blessing in disguise, but they just basically want to make sure that the baby is growing correctly and growing accurately, because with low Papp A, it might mean that your placenta is not giving the baby enough nutrients. So they said the baby is 3 pounds, 1 ounce, which is the 19th percentile, I think. Nothing to be worried about right now. She did say that the other factor is the fact that I haven't gained as much weight. She said she'll make a note to the doctor that if my uterus or fundal height isn't progressing along well enough, to maybe have me come in a little earlier. Otherwise, my next appointment will be when I'm 36 weeks. So she said nothing to be worried about now, obviously, and it's still a little uncertain whether or not the Papp A is an issue because the baby seems to be growing fine, but that coupled with my weight is, you know, a bit of a pause. So I'm not worried about anything right now until the doctor says anything. They did confirm that it is a boy. I don't know if you can tell, but the little arrow there is pointing to the boy parts. And then she was able to get sort of like a close-up of the baby's profile. So that was cool to be able to see the baby. It's growing, definitely. And I have 10 weeks to go, so it's exciting. I'll check in with you guys later.
So if that backache comes and goes every 15 minutes for an hour.
Hi everyone, welcome to week 30 of my pregnancy. I have 10 weeks to go, which is crazy. I am fully in the 3rd trimester now, and everything is really becoming more real. I took 2 pregnancy classes. One was a childbirth one and one was baby care. I have 1 more, and then soon I'll be taking the sleeping class from taking care of babies and a breastfeeding course as well. So hopefully I'll have all of the tools I need in my toolbox to be prepared for when baby Tran comes. I definitely understand now why people say that the 3rd trimester is probably the most uncomfortable, and I think it's really because you have such a big belly. And during the morning time when I first wake up, it doesn't feel as big or as tight, but as the day goes on and as I eat more, I feel like my skin is constantly stretching, my stomach feels more uncomfortable, I have sore spots, and then by the time I'm getting ready for bed, I feel super lethargic and just big, and it's just hard to move around if I get up and in and out of bed. So that's definitely one thing, especially working out at night after dinner. I might want to change up my workout routine, because sometimes when I'm working out, I just feel so like big and full, and sometimes the baby is like in a weird position, but I think that's just how it is in the 3rd trimester, so I can't imagine getting any bigger. As you saw, I had my 30-week ultrasound because I had my low Papp A volume, and I think it's now just monitoring how the baby is growing. He does seem to be on the smaller side, but it's still a little early, so I'm going to go back in for my 36-week appointment, and hopefully the baby will still be growing well and that my fundal height or my uterus growth is good throughout each doctor appointment. So everything else seems to be fine. We're still trying to think of names. The baby shower is actually coming up in a few weeks, so that will be exciting, and hopefully I'll be able to film all of that. And we're actually for sure moving now. And so once I move and everything is set up there, I'll hopefully be able to set up the baby's corner in our bedroom and get more things set up for the baby. So a lot of exciting things happening. And yeah, my main concern now is just preparing for baby, preparing for labor. I'm gonna try to learn some breathing techniques and see how everything goes. So let me show you my bump. I'm wearing a tank top today, so you'll be able to see it a little better.
Keep in mind, when you go to baby proof, it doesn't mean that when you do it at one time, set up your outline. We also sent you the outline to the class too. I set this up in kind of...
Hi everyone, welcome to week 31 of my pregnancy. I would say that the main things that have happened in the past week are that the baby's kicks have definitely gotten stronger. I think the baby is about the size of a coconut or the length of an asparagus bunch. So he's definitely starting to kick into my ribs. And the way I can feel it is that it's kind of like you just got something kind of stuck in your rib, or like something uncomfortable that's like on the upper half of your chest. And I have noticed I've been labored in my breathing a little bit because my lungs are probably a little squished as well. And so I can tell he's definitely stretching out, and sometimes he'll sort of, if I'm hunched over a little bit, he'll kick into my rib and then it'll feel a little uncomfortable. I have to kind of stretch it out. And the kicks are definitely a little stronger. So it kind of feels like alien movements sometimes, because you can see if you don't have a, like if you look at your skin, you can see the skin kind of moving, like if he does like a roll or something. So it's very interesting, but definitely visible on the outside, and people can obviously feel it as well. So the kicks are definitely growing stronger and much more frequent. I've noticed that I've been keeping track of when he actually likes to kick, and there is a pattern. So they say that usually your baby has patterns of when they are awake and moving, and sometimes they maintain these patterns when they are newborns. So it's kind of interesting that he basically kicks almost every 3 hours, and it could last for up to 5 to 10 minutes or longer, or sort of span the time period. So that's very interesting. So I haven't fully been doing my kick counts every night, because my doctor basically said you only need to do it if you're worried that your baby hasn't been kicking when it normally does. So that's why it's good to have a schedule of when your baby kicks, because then you can sort of know, okay, usually he's active around 10 a.m., but for some reason he's not. Then you can go lie down, drink some cold water, and try to count as many kicks as you try to get to 10 kicks within 2 hours. And that way you know that he's still doing okay in there, because if he's not kicking within that time frame, then you want to call your doctor. So I haven't been doing it every night if I feel like he's been pretty regular throughout the day. Another update is I finally started wearing my maternity leggings and my maternity pants. I think I mentioned before that I bought them a while ago, but my bump just wasn't big enough to warrant needing to wear them. But I started noticing that the heat tech leggings that I've been wearing throughout this whole pregnancy were getting a little tight and uncomfortable. I could probably still technically wear them, but towards the end of the day, I just felt like they were kind of digging into my stomach a little. So I started breaking out my Uniqlo maternity leggings, and they're very comfortable, and they go over your belly, so they kind of make you feel a little more secure, and there's just nothing digging into your stomach anymore. And same with this maternity pants, they just fit over your belly, so it just feels much more comfortable. And let me show you guys my bump. People say I am looking pretty big, but I think it might be because either I'm small and so it looks big on me, or because I am having a boy, so it's just a little bit more pokey at the bottom, which I've been saying this whole pregnancy. So the next thing coming up is my doctor's appointment on Friday. Now that I'm in my 3rd trimester, I'm going every 2 to 3 weeks, so they're more frequent. And I think she'll probably just continue to check on my fundal height to make sure that, despite not gaining any weight, to make sure that the uterus is growing and that the baby is growing correctly. And then I have my baby shower coming up in about 2 weeks, so that'll be also very exciting. I'm starting to get some of the baby items in from my registry, and then once I have all the items in, I'll see what I didn't get and then purchase all the additional items, and then start setting up everything for baby. So those are things coming up. So I'll see you guys next week. Hello everyone, I am 32 weeks today. It's Friday. I'm at my 32-week doctor appointment, or OBGYN appointment. Hopefully it'll be a quick one. I'll probably just have to do a urine sample, blood pressure, weight check, all of that, fundal height, and heartbeat. I'll probably ask about the ultrasound results and how they just said they'll continue to look at my fundal height. So I'm guessing she'll just say everything looks fine or whatever. The weight gain is still slow. So I weighed myself this morning and I'm 131.8 pounds. But then they weigh me again in there. So usually I go more off of the doctor's weight. So we'll see if I've gained. So definitely I've gained weight since my last appointment, which was my battery just died. I thought I had more time on it. But yeah, so I think I'm supposed to be at 140 by now. So we'll see if the doctor says anything. But yeah, I'm going to go over there now. Hi everyone, welcome to week 32 of my pregnancy. As you saw in the previous clip, I came back from the doctor yesterday and They actually weighed me and I was 134 pounds, which was a little bit different than what my home scale said, but like I said, usually I go off of their scale anyway. So I have gained about 2 pounds since my last appointment, so it's about a pound a week. Still a little under than what I am, I think, supposed to be, but my doctor didn't seem worried. I did ask her about the ultrasound results and she said that everything looked fine, and even though, you know, it may be measuring smaller, that she'll just keep an eye on my fundal height. She measured it and it was fine, so I'm not gonna worry about it and just continue on. Now that I am in week 32, there's about 8 weeks left if the baby comes on time. So we're really starting to gear up. My baby shower is next weekend, and so I'll get all the baby stuff together. We are also moving tomorrow, so we'll be able to set up all the baby stuff ahead of time, install the car seats. Yeah, just checking things off of our list and getting ready for baby. A few new symptoms that have cropped up are some back pain that I've noticed, like even when I'm just doing the dishes for maybe 10 minutes, my back starts to hurt, and I think it's probably a combination of bad posture and just being in the 3rd trimester. But I really need to start wearing my pelvic brace a little more often and just being careful that when I'm standing to be in a good posture and not on one side or the other. I still have pelvic pain. It kind of comes and goes, being worse some days and worse other days. I have noticed it's mostly when I'm walking a lot or moving a lot that the pelvic pain is worse. So it's really just being cognizant about my body and how I'm carrying myself. If you also remember, I had some soreness on my bump towards the end of the 2nd trimester when I would move certain ways, or if I would touch it, it would kind of feel like I pulled a muscle. I don't have that anymore, so I don't know if it was just a growth spurt of my uterus during the 2nd trimester, but I'm glad that's gone because it was really uncomfortable. Now my stomach, if anything, I don't think I've felt any Braxton Hicks contractions yet. Sometimes my stomach does get very tight and hard, so maybe that is one, but it doesn't really feel like a contraction to me. It just feels slightly uncomfortable, if even that. So those are some of the new symptoms that have cropped up in the past few weeks, but other than that, it's kind of the same. As the bump grows bigger, of course, it gets a little more uncomfortable and a little harder to lay down or get up and just walk around. I think I do waddle a little bit now, but I think compared to other people, my bump doesn't seem as big, although when people see it on me, they always seem shocked. So I think it's because I haven't gained as much weight as other people have. It doesn't show as much in my face and my other parts of my body, at least I don't think so. And so looking at me normally, you probably think I look the same or that I'm not pregnant, and then when I stand up, you see that I have a belly, and maybe it just shows more because I am smaller. I don't know, but let me show you guys my bump. So here is the 32-week bump. Again, it's like chest up and then suddenly this big old thing. But yeah, baby boy is growing in there and we are getting ready for his arrival. So I'll see you guys next week. Hi everyone, welcome to week 33. If you're wondering why I'm all dressed up, it's because today is my baby shower. So I figured, even though it's virtual and over Zoom, that I would at least do my hair and makeup. Sorry for the mess in the background. This is our new bedroom and it has the best lighting, so I'm filming in here for now. But we have a ton of baby stuff back there that is ready for baby Tran when he comes. This is the week 33 update. It will be the end of the 1st trimester part 1 video, and then I'll start a new 3rd trimester part 2 video, and who knows when that will end when the baby comes, because it's always unpredictable. The expected due date is still October 23rd, so we have about a little less than 2 months to go. But yesterday I was actually surprised with a baby shower from my community group at church, so that was a huge surprise. I obviously had no idea, since today is the planned baby shower. But it was really nice to see everyone, social distancing of course. It was a rolling one where people had different time slots, and so they came in and just celebrated with us. It was also sort of boba milk tea themed. But yeah, so I just wanted to give a quick update. I have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday and everything is pretty much the same. I'm still having pelvic pain. Other than that, the bump is still growing and, you know, a little uncomfortable certain times of the day. I do feel like I wake up at least once every night and have a little bit of a hard time falling back asleep, but they say that's sort of normal. Other than that, I really don't have any other new symptoms. The kicks are still going strong. I think I've just been preparing for today because it's the baby shower, even though, again, it's virtual, but there's a lot of little prep things to do, and as you guys know, for me, I just get a little stressed about certain things. I'm also going to try to take some pictures with my bump today because since I'm not doing a maternity photo shoot, I figured I should get a few more pictures in for memories. And yeah, I'll have a whole separate video on my baby shower so you guys can watch that when it's out. But let me show you my bump and then I'll probably check in with you guys at my doctor's appointment. Alright, so here's the bump. Maybe this angle's better. So people keep saying that I'm really small when they see me, or like that I haven't gained any weight, which I mean, I have gained about maybe 17 pounds at this point, but it is true that I haven't gained as much as most people, so that's probably why if you look at me from the chest up, I look about the same, but when you see me in person, you see that I have a belly, so it's a little bit of a shock, but I think people expect me to be a little bigger. But yeah, we'll see. I have my 36-week ultrasound soon, and we'll see if the baby is still progressing well and doing well, and yeah, so I'll check in with you guys at my appointment on Tuesday. Just finished my week 33 appointment. She said the weight gain is doing fine, so no worries there. I think I'm 135 now, so I've gained about 17 pounds, which seems low, but she said it was fine, and she said my fundal height was good, measuring at 33 weeks. And she was able to check to see if the baby has moved to head down, and she said as far as she can tell, yes. I mean, it's hard to know because all she is just feeling all around my stomach, but she said she feels what it seems to be the head facing downwards, and then the butt like towards my rib area, which makes sense because that's why he kicks my ribs all the time. In 2 weeks, I'll see the doctor again, and then after that, it'll be every week and leading up to the due date, basically. So everything looks good, and this will be the end of my third trimester part 1 video. So please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in part 2 of my third trimester. Bye!